Here we go. So these are some of our top tips to 10x the growth rate of your ecom brand. So what I'm going to run you through are some of the most powerful, easy, cheap to execute growth tips that we battle tested over the last decade. So we've driven over $1 billion in ecom revenue over the last 12 years, and we built one of the fastest growing ecom brands on the planet with Neck to Sleep, 10 mil to 240 mil in 18 months. This stuff is going to help your business. So when everything is in the right place in your ecom brand, it is the most beautiful feeling when your phone is just pinging with Shopify notifications. So my objective of this video is to drain your phone battery by overloading it with auto notifications. So make sure to subscribe wherever it is to get notified for the next videos. In the next one, I'm going to be telling you how to double your business without spending another cent. No magic here, just some beautiful fundamentals that are easy to execute. Game time. So the first one, nail your offer. I cannot stress this one enough. The art of cracking ecom is simply solving a customer's problem better than anyone else, then finding an efficient way to get in front of lots of people. That's it. So it's the same problem that's existed well before the internet, but for some reason, everyone's thinking about Meta and Shopify and all the tech and media platforms that simply make it easier to reach people and take their money. They're very, very important, yet the brands that absolutely kill it spend 90% of their time obsessing over these fundamentals. So I'm gonna give you some easy to execute steps, and I can guarantee you nothing will have your sales flowing more effortlessly than this. And this is how to do it. So the composition of an offer is simple. You're either making someone's life easier or you're increasing someone's status. And the status thing is most important and common in fashion. Balenciaga is not gonna make you run faster. Maybe, I don't think so. So the next thing you need to do is you need to ensure that you're actually solving these problems better than your competitors. Now it sounds obvious, but people don't dig into it like this, and you're about to learn how to do it. So there's a few key components to get right. So the first one is that you're solving a problem better than anyone else because you legitimately have a better product. So the second one is that you're solving a problem well, maybe not the best, but you're doing it the most affordably or quite affordably. Now, don't try and compete in the price space. It's just savage. So the third thing is that you're providing better supporting features or connectivity between devices. So for example, Apple Watches work better with Apple products. Now the fourth one is that you got a better guarantee and risk reversal. So you make it easy for people to make that decision. Everything else is just icing on the cake. You need to get that stuff right. So remember this, so a great product with a great offer with an average marketing campaign will absolutely obliterate an average product with an amazing marketing campaign. Now, let me give you some examples here. So we were working with a project in the premium sheet space. So we had lots of the top brands. So the best brands, but a 5% discount through supplier relationships. The website was just rubbish. It took 20 seconds to load. It broke every convention with UX and it converted 6%. It didn't matter.
It doesn't matter how you're doing.
Because the offer was so good. Now, another example is with Nectar. So we weren't the cheapest, but we were more affordable than the direct competitors, but we also offered a leading 360-night sleep trial, 100% money back. We dominated the market with no venture capital. So another example is with Truva. So we consolidated hundreds of thousands of products from independent physical retail stores. We weren't the cheapest, but it meant that someone in London could buy something from Sweden without having to take the flight. So we could charge that little bit extra for convenience. So better product, easy to get access to. So what do? So take your top products that you've got, put them in a Google Sheet and pull out price, what they receive, which is the actual deliverable, what it is. Third is how well you solve their problem. Fourth is what's truly unique that matters to the customers, and I'll show you how to validate this next. And the fifth is your guarantee. So how confident are you in your product? So stack on all your direct competitors side by side. The easiest way to do this is to just search a generic term into Google, or if you've got other brands that are hitting you up on Instagram, just go through their brand as well and pull this information out. Now, be very, very honest. Is your product the obvious choice if you didn't own your brand? Now, if you know your product is better, but it's not obvious here, you need to do a better job at convincing your customers. Now, the key is to find out what customers actually think, not what you or your mom or your dog thinks. So let's do this. Steal insights from surveys. Tip number 2. So before you're trying to find all the answers in your ad platforms or Google Analytics, use qualitative research. It's a lethally effective tool. So all you do is this. So you run surveys to your existing customers asking why they bought from you, who else they considered buying from, what pushed them over the edge to choose you, whether there was anything that stood out about your products they loved once they received them that you're not talking about online or in your ads. Also, ask them about other brands they've tried and stopped using and why, and other products that they buy that are related to your product line that you don't currently sell. So this can obviously feed ideas directly into launching new products or finding partnerships with complementary companies that you can collaborate with. There's a lot of C's in that sentence. So it's simple. So also, you really want to do this for people that didn't buy from you and abandoned on checkout. Don't just hammer them with offers. Say, hey, why didn't you buy? That's all you need to ask. That's where you're leaving the cash on the table. So to get people to do this, you can offer win one of $300 Amazon gift cards, or you can pay people, say, $20 for a better response and a more detailed response. You only need 20 to 40 of these. That's it. You can use Google Forms for free. Typeform costs 10, 20 bucks a month, or SurveyMonkey for much deeper analysis, but you can start with the free tools. Next tip, run usability testing. Now this blows my mind. It starts with getting answers from humans before you try and find all the patterns in your analytics that might not live there. You will kill the competition if you get this right. So what you want to do is create a blind usability test. You can use a tool like Try My UI or Maze, M-A-Z-E. What you do is you create a scenario where people need to open up your website and a few others and just simulate the buying experience. It's all remote, you can record it, you don't need to talk to anyone, you can stay in your pajamas. And as for thinking up the test, this is what you want to do. So consider the process someone would go through when they're researching to purchase your products. So you can use your brand and use two other competitors that would actually be ideally referenced from the qualitative survey, and don't tell them which is yours. Simulate the purchase experience. They'll go through your website. You will get a laundry list of ideas and opportunities to flank your competitors, and likely a bunch of actions for ideas on content, imagery, video, layout. You're not gonna find these answers in Google Analytics. Just run this type of activity. You're gonna find gold. So let's get into some implementation. So what we're gonna do now is a fun one. It's called the 5-second website test. So now that we've learned all of this stuff about what our unique value proposition is and what makes your brand stand out, it's time to add some punch to your website as the first step, as that's ultimately the town hall. All traffic roads lead to your website. So what you want to do is you want to start with your homepage or your key landing pages, focusing above the fold. 80% of visitors aren't going to scroll down below the fold. That's the part of your site that shows without scrolling. It's going to change based on device, but the theory holds true. So for your homepage, you know where to focus, just the chunk up top. Now, if you've got specifically crafted landing pages, this is likely going to have a headline, a subheadline, bullet points, maybe some imagery. If you're dropping people straight to the product pages, this is going to be a mix of the short form copy plus the first, I'm showing you this way, this first product image. And this is how you validate it. This is really cool. So we have a system called the reverse elevator pitch concept. You pair this with the 5-second test using a tool like Usability Hub. You just drop your website in there, people will see it for 5 seconds. So the detailed way this works is that someone will land on a page, they have 5 seconds to absorb the information. Then if you're executing well, they should be able to close their eyes and tell you clearly what makes your brand unique and how you're uniquely going to solve their problem better than anyone else. You should be able to do it in 5 seconds. If you are not nailing this, you're killing your conversion rate. You're leaving money on the garden table. People don't know your brand as well as you do, so you need to make it easy. So the last one we got here is to get your ads working. A few cool tips here. So the better we can pre-sell people with our ads, the hotter they're gonna be when they land on the website. So your ad creative should do the exact same thing as the 5-second website test, but with a caveat. So the difference is that we need a powerful hook to stop them scrolling on Instagram with cats and I don't know what else they're looking at. Then we intro into the unique value proposition. So the most simple structure is to open with a question that connects with the problem that you solve. So if we're in the gut health space, do you feel bloated and tired after every meal? Our XYZ product uniquely solves this by doing XYZ. There's no faster way to feel better and lighter every day. Or what you could also do is you can open with something like a promise. Bang, 97% of our customers improve their belly bloating in just 48 hours, and you can try us 100% risk-free. If your offer is strong enough, you can lead with the offer. You don't need to use gimmicks. So you can get really creative with the unique imagery and video to try and stop people scrolling, but stick with the basics on the copy. And they're not basic, they're fundamental. So you can also get better results if you've got UGC. We all know this is fantastic. You can use a platform like Incense to get really cheap UGC, or you can email your customers that have already left great reviews. Just make sure whether UGC or your customers, tell them what to say. Guide them with the value prop. So you might also already have people tagged on your Instagram. Just hit them up, ask them, they'll be delighted. And there we go. so that's it. So these are the first 5 tips in this mini series. Next, I'm going to be going through how to double your business without spending another cent. This one will blow your mind when I go over some of these fundamentals and just how easy it is to implement. So that's it. Thanks for spending time listening about these ecom tips. I'm Mark Patchett from Grow Shop. That's it.